Thank you. So if you were here last year, we had the Rising Star panel discussion. And it's my goal, it's the Unstoppable You Ministries goal, is to find extraordinary teens in the community who are knocking it out the park. Because it's important for us to hear their voice and find out what they're thinking, how they feel, and to inspire us. I think it goes both ways, that adults, we're not just supposed to inspire the young ones, but if we're doing it right, they are supposed to inspire us as well. And I'm just honored for these next teens to be coming up. But I'm not going to share about them, and I'm not the moderator. I'm excited to bring TP, Tavon Parker, back up because he is the moderator for the Rising Star panel discussion.
Without further ado, though, let's get this Youth Rising Star panelist going. I want you guys to can you guys hold your applause for after the bios, please? The first young man coming up is Marquise Duncan. Marquise Duncan is 14. He's a freshman at York County School of Technology and is an honor roll student. He is a student in the commercial arts program and would like to become a digital animator. Marquise loves to read, draw, and create comic books. He also enjoys soccer and played with the YMCA for several years. Marquise loves to learn and enjoys spending time at the Advantage program, woo woo, and experiencing all the opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, Marquise Duncan. Next up, we have Mandy Wang. Mandy Wang is a senior at Central York High School. Mandy has been a part of Central's Paru Panther Anti-Racist Union for almost 3 years now. First as a member, then a social media manager, and now Paru's co-president this school year. Mandy was deeply involved in overturning the second book ban Paru has seen. Mandy loves to read and write, so English is one of her favorite classes to be in. She's planning on attending a four-year university and majoring in psychology. From there, she plans on either going to graduate school or medical school. Mandy loves to spend time with her family, whether it's talking, taking walks together, or going out for family dinner. Mandy and her mom are extremely close, and she is a person that Mandy looks up to. In her free time, Mandy has a bunch of unrelated hobbies. She repairs cracked phone screens, plays the piano, and fencing. One of her favorite things to do is explore and try new foods. Mandy is a big foodie, and she was telling me she loved the chicken. Ladies and gentlemen, Mandy Wang. Next up, we have Kimora Hawkins. Kimora has attended Keystone Christian Academy since she was 4 years old. She is a student athlete who excels in school and AAU basketball while maintaining a distinguished honor roll. She earned a starting spot on York High's freshman team as a 7th grader and is looking forward to another productive year with them, as well as her Central PA Elite and Sideline Cancer AAU teams. When not on the basketball court, Kimora enjoys playing games on her PS5 and socializing with her friends. She is a member of the Salvation Army after-school program and summer camp and enjoys attending their church services on Sunday as her schedule permits. She also enjoys eating and sneaker shopping. Kimora aspires to be a professional basketball coach and looks forward to earning her own money and gaining her own independence. Ladies and gentlemen, Kimora Hawkins. And last but certainly not least, Xavier Callaway. Xavier is currently a 9th grade student at York Academy Regional Charter School in York, PA. He enjoys playing football and video games in his spare time. Last year, Xavier joined the Advantage program. Whoop, whoop. He enjoys participating in activities with the group. He was one of the students from the program that had the opportunity to go to the Capitol building in Harrisburg and meet with some of our political leaders. Family life has been difficult on Xavier at times, but he is working hard to overcome all the challenges he has to deal with. Ladies and gentlemen, Xavier Callaway. All right, so you guys can just share the mic as I ask questions. So I have a few questions here that we'll jump into. If you guys all could hold your applause for after these guys get a chance to answer. If you guys need anything, let me know. If you need any water or anything, if you get hot, feel like you're gonna pass out, let me know. As she said, if there's an emergency that happens, just take off running. You guys good? All right, well, let's do this. So the first question I have for you guys, growing up here in York, what strategies do you use to stay motivated and keep going when things get tough?
What I like to do is just be the best version of me, because you get what you give. So if you give everything you have and be the best version of you, do everything you need to, eventually, though it may seem like it won't sometimes, something will come back to you. So what you need to do is, no matter how hard it gets, do whatever you can in your situation, and you'll make it.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Mandy, I ask you the same question. Growing up here in York, what strategies do you use to stay motivated and keep going when things get tough?
Well, with my activism, sometimes it gets tough because obviously we don't see the results we want. And it takes a long time to have, those book bans overturned. So when I feel down or when I feel unmotivated, I go to Mr. Hodge, who is my club's advisor. I go to Miss Jackson, who's also the advisor. And I go to Peru because they're my support group and they're always there for me, especially when I feel like nothing's really happening, but there is something happening. And they remind me of what I'm doing with my activism, so yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like it. And just in case you guys didn't catch what I said, Mandy is a part of the group that got the book ban overturned at Central High School. Can we give her a round of applause for that? Kimora, I ask you the same thing. Growing up here in York, what strategies do you use to stay motivated and keep going when things get tough?
Basketball. It's just something that motivates me because I was playing freshman as a 7th grader, so waking up every morning with a goal to play varsity as a 9th grader is just amazing because it just wakes me up with a positive attitude every morning. So basketball.
I like it. I like it. And I had a chance to work with the Salvation Army when Kimora thought she was good in basketball. Needless to say, I still got it. Xavier, I'll ask you the same thing. Growing up here in York, what strategies do you use to stay motivated and keep going when things get tough?
I just think about, eventually getting to see the world because, I live in such a small city and I live here my whole life. I just think about, how when I grow up, if I want to, I can just go see the whole world and do whatever I want, as long as I believe, and then I could achieve.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Give a round of applause. Give a round of applause. Now keep it. Keep it. Yeah, pass it back down. I like that. So if I'm hearing you guys correctly, I might be wrong, but it sounds like mindset. It sounds like in order to stay motivated and keep going when things get tough, you have to keep the proper mindset. I really like that. So my next question is, how would you encourage a friend who's feeling discouraged to be unstoppable? You see what we're doing there? Unstoppable you? Unstoppable you? See what we're doing there? How would you encourage a friend who's feeling discouraged to be unstoppable in pursuing their dreams?
Just tell them that you believe in them and that things will get better and that you're there for them if they need you. And yeah, that's it.
I like that. I like that. I know if I'm ever feeling down, I'm going to come talk to you. All right, Kimora, so how would you encourage a friend or me who's feeling discouraged to be unstoppable in pursuing their dreams?
To keep doing what you love, and I'm here because a lot of people and kids don't like talking about their feelings, so if they ever need to open up, I'm always here for them, and just keep doing what you love because eventually you'll make it to where you want.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Mandy, I have the same question for you. How would you encourage a friend who's feeling discouraged to be unstoppable in pursuing their dreams?
I would tell them that they have to kind of they have to think about what they're fighting for, what they want to see changed, what they want their future to look like, and kind of remotivate themselves because whenever you feel down, obviously you have all these negative mindset, these negative thoughts, but when you kind of go back and kind of see what you're fighting for, what you want, that's when you can redirect yourself.
I like that, Mandy. I like that. Come on, give her a round of applause. Come on, come on. Mr. Duncan, Marquise, last one. How would you encourage a friend who's feeling discouraged to be unstoppable in pursuing their dreams?
By being the person they can lean on, because everyone has down times they want to give up, times they want to stop, or even just times they want to take a break. But if there's someone there that's always going to support them, that's always going to be there to keep them going, that goes farther than you could think. And if you're that person, you really can change the world, one person at a time.
I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, you guys good? All right, now I'm going to start asking them some stuff so they can get to know you guys a little bit better. You sure you good? All right, you don't have to share anything you don't want to tell them. I'll tell them for you. All right, can you think of a time when you faced a challenge and didn't give up? How did that make you feel?
One thing I value a lot is school, because I'm in there all the time. So I wanted to so I want to do good at it. And so a little while ago, I actually got moved up in a couple classes. And so it was actually really hard at first, because there were a lot of kids who I always knew were like really smart. And I didn't think of myself as like a really smart kid, but I just kept going and kept trying. And eventually, things worked out.
I like it. I like it. And how did that make you feel? How did it make you feel when those things worked out?
Pretty good. And I'm glad I didn't stop.
Did it make you feel unstoppable? Go ahead, pass it down. Mandy, same question. Can you think of a time when you faced a challenge and didn't give up?
Yeah, well, going back to my club, one of our major challenges last year was the book ban. They banned a book called Pushed by Sapphire. It was about a girl who was facing domestic violence and sexual violence. And they banned this book for various reasons, they say. And so hearing that they banned this book, it was like meaningful to me, because it was also written by an author who was African American. And before this, they also banned books that were from authors of color and also from authors of the LGBTQ+ community. So when I saw this, I was really like moved. I didn't know what to do, and so I like went to Mr. Hodge. And the thing is that they banned it in September of last year, and so we fought and we fought when we found out in March. And so that was like a really big challenge for me. But after waking up countless mornings every day, we were able to overturn it. So yeah.
And if you had to pick one word, how would that make you feel?
Unstoppable.
There we go. There we go. Tuda, same question. Can you think of a time, and you don't have to tell them about when I beat you. Can you think of a time you faced a challenge and didn't give up? How did that make you feel?
I don't remember you beating me, but man, I done broke my wrist.
What?
I broke my wrist, and if y'all haven't realized by now, I love basketball. So my wrist, man, I was so mad I couldn't play basketball. I had a cast on. My mom had to take me to who knows how many doctor's appointments. So, like, when I was able to play basketball, I was just sitting there at practice, and if you, that was memories, man. That was bad, because I wish I could play. So, like, I was just sitting there. But, like, oh, man.
You're good. Tell us about it. You're good. Take your time.
Can you repeat the question?
Yep.
I done forgot.
Yeah, can you think of a time you faced a challenge and you didn't give up?
So when I broke my wrist, I couldn't play basketball sitting there. So after I got my cast off, like as soon as I got my cast off, I had a game that day. I think I scored like 10 points. Don't listen to him. He's gonna say I scored. So like that just motivates me to keep going, cause you always gonna face something that's gonna stop you. So if you just keep pushing through it, it'd be good. It made me feel good, cause like I scored 10 points. I didn't know how my wrist was gonna feel, cause if you watch me play, I fall a lot, like a lot. So yeah.
So coming back and scoring those 10 points, how'd that make you feel?
Unstoppable.
And last but not least, Xavier. For those of you that don't know, Xavier has extremely strong lungs. We don't have to talk about when we went to Jason's Woods, but can you think of a? I just said I'm not going to tell him how you scream. I'm not going to tell him.
You just said it.
Oh, oops. Can you think of a time you faced a challenge and didn't give up?
So this year, I signed up for football. Like, this is my first year ever playing. And like in the beginning of the season, I really wasn't doing that good. But then I kept going to practice and like kept getting better. And in the last game of the season, I got a sack and I got 3 tackles, and it was like it felt good. My dad, you know, he didn't get it on camera because, you know, he's a terrible recorder. But
that's why he got his phone out now. He learned. He learned.
yeah, but yeah, it made me feel good.
Did it make you feel unstoppable?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Give him a round of applause. So this one is near and dear to my heart, and I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say, because believe it or not, I struggled in school. So when I say, can you think of a time you faced a challenge and didn't give up, I would have been talking about my schoolwork. But all of you guys being honorable and distinguished honorable students, I guess the other things are what stress you out or what you consider challenges. But who is a role model for you when it comes to being unstoppable?
My grandma, because like her whole life, she worked to provide for her family, and then like even when she didn't have to, she like took me in, and she's still working every day, trying to provide, do the best for me that she can. And even when I give her like trouble, like she's still there at the end of the day. And I really like look up to her because, like, I don't know, she's like the best.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Talk to me, Kimora. Who's a role model for you when it comes to being unstoppable?
My mom.
Hold on, Kimora. Can we give a round of applause for Mom in the back? Go ahead. And why?
I'm talking about Kobe though. Kobe Bryant.
Well,
I just had to give her a shout out.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant though, cause I forget what game it was, but he like dislocated one of his fingers, and like he got out for 2 seconds. His coach popped it in, and he just kept playing. So it's just like, that was crazy. Your whole finger's dislocated, and you still worried about playing. Like, he's out of control.
Yeah, I'm a Kobe fan too, so I like that one. Same question to you, Mandy. Who is a role model for you when it comes to being unstoppable?
I would also say my mom. I'm a really emotional person, so I cry a lot. So whenever I feel down or whenever I feel stressed about schoolwork, I always like talk to my mom about it. I did not do very good on a calc test like a few weeks ago, and she told me it was all right, and she's always there to support me and give me resources to help me better myself and always make myself feel better mentally. She always says to put my mental health before everything, and I think that's really important to me. So I always look up to my mom.
I like that. Shout out to Mom. Marquise. Now, 2 people said Mom. I'm not going to tell you who to say. But who's a role model for you when it comes to being unstoppable?
Both my parents.
I like that. And why?
Because they're my role models. They're what I see every day and my example of who to be. Because they're successful. They've worked up from all the stuff they've been through. And here they are today. So I want to be like that. And I want to be someone who gets to a good point in life and works hard and provides for everyone.
I love it. Yeah, he was here before. I was watching Mom to make sure she didn't start crying. So if there was one thing that you would want everybody to leave here with, one thought, one thing that you live by, one thing that motivates and inspires you, what would that be? Yeah, I tricked you guys. I had one that I didn't tell you about. What would that be?
No matter how good or bad your life is, always know there is someone either above or below you, something to keep working at, and to never give up, because there's always something you can do to either get higher in life or climb back up from a low point.
I like it. Same thing to you, Mandy. Is there a mantra you go by? What was one thing that when everybody leaves today, you would want them to remember? Mandy told me that.
I think it would be to use your voice. For a while, I did not like to use my voice, or I was kind of scared of what people would say if I used my voice, like with the book bans. The first one especially, I remember I wanted to speak out about it, but in my school I didn't feel safe saying something, so I kind of kept quiet about it, even though I did want to have the book ban overturned. But obviously with the second one, I kind of started thinking about myself and what I want to see changed, so I began using my voice to overturn that book ban. I started going to those school board meetings and telling the board members what I want to see changed, and that has done a lot for me. I feel much more fulfilled knowing that I've done something that has made me feel better as an individual. And so I think whenever you see something, you want to use your voice, because you have this voice, you can make a lot of change with it. And so I think it's just really important.
Amazing. And thank you for stepping up and speaking up. Kimora, same question goes to you. What's one mantra, what's one thing you would want everybody to leave knowing? Kimora made me think about this. Kimora made me change this. Kimora said this.
Each morning, God wakes you up with a purpose, so make sure you fulfill that purpose.
I love that. I love it. And Xavier, same thing to you. What's one thing that you would want everybody to say, man, I'm going to do this because Xavier said it. This is how he lives. This is what he believes. What's one thing you want to impart on everybody here?
No matter what you're going through, times will get better. And always remember, be unstoppable.
I like that. So we got like 2 or 3 more minutes, but what I want to do is I want to tell each and every one of you guys how proud I am of you. And the reason being, and I think I shared this story with you before, Xavier, but one of my favorite stories is about 2 old people, right? You guys are young, you still have a big life in front of you, but there were 2 old people in a nursing home. And I'll never forget, because when I heard this story, it really changed my life. It really altered my perspective, helped me to change my narrative and become unstoppable, because these 2 old men were in a nursing home, and I'll never forget, the one guy was by the door and the one guy was by the window. And for those of you that don't know how a nursing home set up, it's kind of like a hospital where you have like 2 beds, you have like the sheet that goes across the middle, and those 2 guys were separate, but they were friends. And the guy by the door always turns to his friend by the window and asks him, what does he see outside? Right, these 2 guys, they don't have legs, they can't walk, they can't really move too much, so people have to feed them, people have to change them, people have to wash them. So the guy would always say, what do you see outside? And his buddy would always tell him something beautiful, right? Oh, I see a dog playing, I see a wife and a daughter, I see somebody just got proposed to. It was always something beautiful. I see Kimora out there losing to Tavon in basketball. It was always something beautiful. And I'll never forget that one day my guy by the window, you know what happens when you get old, my guy by the window ended up passing away. And my guy by the door asked the nurse, can you move me over there to where my friend was? I want to see the stuff he was seeing. And the nurse was like, well, I can't really move you. I'm like a little lady. I can try to get some people in. So they ended up moving my man over by the window. And my man got to that window, and he looked out, and all he seen was a big brick red wall. And he said to the nurse, hold on, there's something wrong here. Can somebody move this? Can somebody change this? I want to see what my friend was seeing. Can somebody take this wall down? And the nurse was like, did you get your meds already? Because I can't move a wall. And the guy was like, well, my man told me there was dogs playing, people were getting proposed to. There was a lot of beautiful stuff out here, the basketball game. I want to see what he was seeing. And the lady turned back to him and said, you didn't know. And he said, I didn't know what? What are you talking about? And she said, you didn't know that your friend that was here was born blind. He couldn't see anything outside that window if he wanted to. Every day he told you he was seeing that stuff to make your day better. And the reason I share that story is because the reason I'm so proud of you guys is because you guys have the power to make everybody in here's day better just by being yourself. Can you guys put your hands together and give a round of applause to our rising stars?